one of your kids told me, if my mom could have more kids, she would. But she didn't, so they did together for good.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I'll have to elaborate on that with her.
Yeah, have you heard of it?
I did,
Yeah.
yes. And when did you get connected with them, and how long was that journey for you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I love having kids. I would have had 10 more if I could have, but we always felt like a connection with children. Like even we'd go to Mexico and our kids would fill their backpacks with toys and games and candy and things, and we would always find an orphanage there and go visit an orphanage, and the kids would just connect with the kids, and it was really fun. Staying calm, because as you know too, if things get heightened with your kids, if you get heightened, it just elevates it. So when buyers get excited or sellers are worried, it's not selling, it's just staying calm, and just calming them down, giving them peace of mind to trust the process, and it will work out. So I would say, yeah, flexibility, stay calm, and peace.
Well, welcome to our Best for Your Nest podcast, where we invite local leaders and just ask for their advice and experience and life stories. My name is Anya, and this is Bia.
Hi.
And today we have a privilege of inviting and chatting with Christine Westlund, and she is going to introduce herself and tell us how her friends and family would introduce her.
Oh, wow. Okay. I am Christine Westlund. I came from a small town, Cambridge. Had what I think I had told you, Leave It to Beaver family, but you're probably too young to even know what Leave It to Beaver is.
I know what that is.
Yeah, so mom, dad, 2 brothers, small town. And then I came to, well, long story short, but ended up in the Arden Hills area, married my husband. And I guess they would just describe me as loyal, honest.
I love that.
Calm. My kids would say maybe not always calm, but they can stir things up in me that others can't. And just hardworking, and that I love Jesus.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's probably the cornerstone of everything I do.
That's so cool. All your kids were named starting with the same letter. Is there like a cool story behind, or was it just Scandinavian names came in packages of A's?
Yes.
And once you started, you couldn't stop.
Yes, exactly. So when I was pregnant with my first, my husband and I, we went to Norway with a dear friend of mine and her husband. And we were over in Norway, and I'm 6 months pregnant or whatever, and looking through a Scandinavian name book. Well, we started looking, we didn't get past the A's, and we didn't know if we were having a boy or a girl. Okay. So we found the name Alexander, spelled with a K-S, and Annika. We love them both, and so we thought, great, if we have a boy, if we have a girl. So sure enough, we had a boy, our first one, the name is Alexander. Second one, 18 months later, we had a girl named her Annika, and we thought, great, we have a boy, and a girl, which I think you said you have too. Yep. And we thought, we're done, we have a boy and a girl, we can travel, and we love life. And then a couple years later, I got pregnant again. Unfortunately, I miscarried. But what that did was determine that, yes, we do indeed want more children. So then we went on to have our third. And we didn't come to an agreement on his name. It was a boy. I loved Elijah Christian.
Cool.
Yeah, my husband wanted Anders Christian. And so the nurse said, flip a coin. So we did. I
love that.
And I won Elijah Christian. And then my husband said 2 out of 3. And so I won again and again. So I was like, it's Elijah Christian. We have the little nameplate that was in his bassinet. We come home with Elijah, and it wasn't officially on the birth certificate yet. And my husband would not call him that. So he called him the baby. He kept for like a week, the baby.
That is
fascinating. Okay, he's Anders. So he became Anders Christian.
I love that.
And then that was officially his name. And then after that, we went on to have a fourth, and you can't have 3 A's and then something else.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's true.
Yes, and so then we have Ava, and then we have our fifth, and we couldn't have 4 A's and something else, so it's Anya.
Okay.
Anya.
I love that.
Yeah. Anya Sophia.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So that's a great story.
3 girls and 2 boys.
Yes. Yep. So it was boy, girl, and then our tiebreaker was a girl.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Super
busy
fun.
family.
Yeah.
That is
and it was so
busy
fun
family.
for me because I grew up between 2 boys like Annika did. And she said she prayed so hard for a sister. I always wanted a sister.
Yeah.
She prayed so hard for a sister that God gave her 2.
Oh, that is darling. That's
That
so
is.
cute.
And how old are they now? Like,
At this moment?
Yeah.
Okay. The oldest is 29 and the
Okay.
youngest is 19.
19. So
Okay.
all out of
Yeah.
the house.
They
Or-
should be. Almost.
Grown.
They're grown.
Grown,
Yes. Our youngest 19-year-old is going to Bethel University, but she's commuting, so she's at home.
Cool.
Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, you guys are very close. She
Yes.
should be.
Yeah. Yes, we are very close. And then the blessing of Annika and her husband and their baby are looking for a home. And in the meantime, they are living in the 1-bedroom apartment above our garage.
Oh, fun.
Oh, that's nice.
They have their separate entrance, their own 1-bedroom apartment, kitchen, everything. But we get to see them every day and spend time with the baby. And so it's super
That
fun.
is so cool. So one of your kids told me if my mom could have more kids, she would. But she didn't. So they did together for good.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I'll have to elaborate on that with
Yeah,
her.
have you heard of it?
I
before?
did,
Yeah,
yes.
yes.
And when did you get connected with them and how long was that journey for you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I love having kids. I would have had 10 more if I could have, but we always felt like a connection with children. Like even we'd go to Mexico and our kids would fill their backpacks with toys and games and candy and things, and we would always find an orphanage there and
That's
go visit an
amazing.
orphanage, and the kids would just connect with the
cool.
kids, and it was really fun. And then we also went to Ecuador as a family, and we
Oh, cool.
served just our whole family, a family mission trip, and served there at an orphanage. And then just to do something more consistent at home, then we connected with Together for Good. And then it was just bringing kids into our home. And it's more, as you know, crisis nurseries. So it's not foster care. The ideal is to keep the parents with the kids, to keep the family together. But sometimes they need respite for a medical condition or a health crisis, or just a respite for the weekend, if they're sick or something. So just to take the kids in for either a long weekend or a couple weeks. And then it was just great for our own kids to
care for somebody
yeah,
else.
to learn generosity and just learn that other people have different circumstances, and just to be able to give and know that our home is to be open, for others to come into it too. So yeah, it really taught them a lot, and we've done it for years, and
That's really cool.
yeah. Right now I'm doing a little respite for my grandchild whenever I can, so it's kind of built in.
How many grandkids do you have?
Just the one so
one.
far.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just 10 months old, so super
Oh,
fun.
That's
cute.
so fun.
Yeah, but yeah, Together for Good is a great organization, and because it doesn't go through the government, it goes through a church. So
Okay,
you have a training, but then you just start welcoming and hosting kids.
And you just receive a phone call and you say yes or no?
Yep. You can receive a phone call, or they'll send out an email with a link that says, I can help. And then you can click on it, and then they'll connect you and just make things happen.
Cool.
Like I remember our very first one, we went downtown Minneapolis. We met at the public library. They gave me the car seats. We picked up the kids from the parents, and then the parents just walked away, and we had the kids. And, I didn't know where the parents were going, but
That
we
is
kept
insane.
them. Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see the same kids sometimes?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yep. So the little boy and girl, at that time, they were 6 months and 2 years. And then we watched them up until, I think she was 6 or 7.
Amazing.
But then things got really hard for the mom, and foster care, the county did
Stepped
step
in.
And so all 4 kids now ended up in foster care.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That is.
But yeah. I mean, it was like my adult kids, I would call them and say, the kids are here, or send them a picture, and they just like coming running, the ones that weren't in the house anymore because they loved the kids.
So it's like part of your family culture.
Yeah.
That's
really
awesome.
That's amazing.
What was like, you said, so you had the 2 and you were like, okay, we're good. Like this family is complete. And then you went on to have 3 more.
Yeah.
What do you feel like, do you remember having like a moment when I know you said that you were like, we decided that it was like, we did want to have more kids, but like what got you even to that point where you were like, okay, I'm ready to do this again? Because 18 months apart is probably no joke. Like,
right.
It's a really small age gap. So you're like, okay, probably overwhelmed. But then like what kind of got you to that, like, hey, now I can have 5 and I can handle this?
Yes. I know I never, because people say, did you ever plan to have 5? It's like,
Yeah.
no, I never had a number
Yeah.
set.
Uh-huh.
It was one by one.
Yep.
I think when we had our 3rd, he had some medical issues. He had
Okay.
a heart defect, so kind of working through some of that. And then I also had a miscarriage after him.
Okay.
So that had solidified. We wanted another one again.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how God works that out. It's like,
For sure.
yeah, just laying that on your heart. And it was really, really interesting because you think we would have been done because we had boy, girl,
Yeah.
4, but there was something in me. And even, we have our gaggle of kids as we're, going to the park or you're traveling and everyone has their suitcases and I would count them and I felt like I was missing one.
Interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
cute.
And so, and it was just something in the back of my head. And then eventually, Anya came along, just naturally and just completed our family. And then at that point, we knew we were done.
Yeah.
Yeah. We always said we stayed on one hand, we didn't go on to the other.
I love that.
Yes,
That's
but that's like, that's no joke. 5 kids is a lot.
Well, and then it's funny, my husband came up with this really cute thing where he said we had one finger for each of our kids. So Annika was the pointer. She told people what to do. Alex is the oldest. So Alex was the thumb. He held everyone together.
Okay. Oh,
Annika
cute.
was a pointer. She told people what to do. Anders was the tongue. He didn't stand alone.
I love that.
Ava was the ring finger. She had a sparkly personality. And then the pinky was the baby. So
Oh, cute. That
Yeah.
is so sweet.
that was
I love that.
Cute.
So you and Dan met while both being flight attendants?
yes.
Tell us that story. That sounds like a movie.
Yeah, a little bit. It was really unprecedented. You can just see the God working it out where after growing up in a small town and then I had gone to college in Arizona, then I became a flight attendant and I was based in LA and I was traveling to Tokyo. So I'm working the flight, in my flight.
That's a long flight.
Yeah.
It's
isn't it?
about 12 hours or so.
It's a long flight.
Yeah, so I'm working it, and somebody knew I was from Minnesota. So a flight attendant said to me, "Do you know Dan? He's from Minnesota." And she pointed him to me. He didn't look familiar. And then she said, "He's like one of those, I don't know, born again Christians or something." And I'm like, And so I then took note of his face. I didn't know him. People think you're from Minnesota. Everyone knows everybody apparently.
100%,
So.
They think we have one little town.
Right. So I said, "No, I don't know," but it just stuck in my head. I did not talk to him or make eye contact the whole 12-hour flight. He was in a totally separate section than I was, so no contact. 2 weeks later, my license plate was stolen off my car. It was still a Minnesota license plate, so I had to fly back to Minnesota, and then it was a good excuse to visit my family. And so I'm at the gate, and I see this guy that I recognized from 2 weeks before, and he was on his way through LAX back to Minneapolis from Tokyo. I see him, don't talk to him, get on the flight. I'm in I don't know if you know DC-10, it has 5 rows, and I'm lifting up all the armrests, grabbing pillows and blankets. I'm going to sleep for 3.5 hours. That's my plan. I'm just going to sleep. And all of a sudden, this guy, a row ahead of me, leans back and said, "Do you need a pillow?"
Oh,
so
cute.
I see his face. I'm like, "No, but hey, were you going to Tokyo a couple weeks ago?" And he said, "Yeah, how do you know?" And then we literally talked for 3.5 hours. I did not get my nap, but I got a date for coffee the next weekend because he had a layover there. And that was the day before cell phones, so I didn't have a number to give him. I did not invite him into my row because that was my boundary. And then we met for coffee the next week, and then we were engaged 6 months later. So
That is so cute.
That's so cute.
I love that.
It is like a movie.
Oh, yes. And then we lived happily ever after. That
5 kids later.
right?
So you said Arizona for college, and then I know you did an internship in like Bahamas or something, and you lived in California. Why did you end up in Minnesota again? That's
question.
always a question I'm asking.
Good question. Yeah, so like I said, I grew up in a small town, and then I went to UMD for 2 years, and then visited my grandparents who were snowbirds in Arizona. And then I was like, what am I doing in Duluth when I could be going to college here? So I transferred everything, then finished up in Arizona.
What was your degree?
It was management, but it was a focus on resort management because I was in Arizona. So I worked at the Phoenician and Tempe Mission Palms. And so my internship, it sounds funny, was at Club Med in the Eleuthera, Bahamas. So that was my internship. Yeah. So instead of sitting in a classroom, that I was in the Bahamas. So, and then after that, when I graduated, I had a friend that I grew up with that was working for Northwest Airlines at the time, and she told me about it, and they were hiring in Phoenix. So then I got hired, and then moved to Detroit temporarily, and then San Francisco, and then Los Angeles. And when I met my husband, I said, "You're great in every way except one." And he's like, "What?" And I'm
The
like, "You're from
location.
Minnesota, and that was not part of my plan to go back." So yeah, he thought that was kind of shallow. So I had to work through that. And it's kind of one of those things where we make our plans, but God directs our steps. So that
For
really
sure.
was where, I had to just trust
Your
God.
family meant to be.
Yeah, and my parents were so happy that I came
Oh,
back, and the friends in my community that I have here is way beyond anything I had experienced anywhere else. So yeah, that's where I was supposed to be. And raising kids here is amazing too. So you guys have little ones, so just the community of believers and friends and everything that you create is amazing. So that's how I ended up back here. But luckily we have free flights, so I can still travel.
Yeah. So then how did you, I know from all this travel, how did you get into real estate?
Good question. So I stayed at home after flying. So I flew, and then I'm going to look at you since you asked that question.
Yeah.
I'm like going back and forth.
I was kind of like,
No. It's for
So my husband is a contractor.
Okay.
And is also a flight attendant part-time. So as a contractor, he loved to buy homes and flip homes. So after I started having kids, actually our first child, I just stayed home. My first flight back, because I took a maternity leave, my first flight back was to go to Hawaii for 3 days. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a hard job to have with little kids. Like the flexibility,
there is no.
there's not.
Yeah, you're gone.
Yeah.
Like you're not just gone for the day.
Yeah.
So I bawled, and I'm like, I can't leave my baby. So I resigned, and then the best job I took was being a stay-at-home mom and just being supportive of my husband working. And I kind of helped behind the scenes a little bit, with his construction and helping wherever I could.
Yeah.
And so I remember his mom even saying, like, "Christine, you should get your real estate license and help Dan, But I'm navigating 5 kids, and it was like, how do I?
In all my spare time.
Yes. So in hindsight, I could have done it, should have maybe done it sooner, but I don't know how I would have done that with the kids too. So it was after the recession hit. At that time, we had 5 properties. We had our own home that we purchased, and it grew with our family.
Yeah.
And then there is a house next door, one across the street, one behind us. Oh, gosh. And then the market crashed in 2008, 2009. And then nothing was selling, nothing was happening. It was just an abrupt halt.
Yeah.
So then we were prayed and prayed and prayed, and finally God just said we were holding on and we needed to just surrender and let go. Yeah. So we put a sign in our own yard to sell our family home that we envisioned raising our kids in and having big white tents and open houses in the backyard. But of course, our house sold right away.
Yep.
And so then we moved into one of our rentals,
Okay.
and then moved into another one, and then we were actually in residence inn for a little bit, for a couple months,
Yeah.
which was fun in the beginning. Where you have like, a maid and free breakfast and a pool and all these things.
The pool, this is super fun.
We had birthday parties.
Yeah, for sure.
And we tried to make it as fun as possible for the kids.
Yeah.
So it was just like, they didn't care. It was just like, this is great. But as a mom, like to have a home and to have that nest, the nest is so important for your kids. And so then once we finally found the house that we're in now, it was a foreclosure. We renovated it, moved in, and I'm like, okay, we need a backup plan. All the kids then were in school. So my youngest was probably kindergarten, first grade at that time. So I got my license. And then it just felt like a natural segue of what I already knew. I knew about construction. I knew about renovations. I knew about houses. And I knew about moving. So the emotions of moving, of selling a home, of buying a home, navigating all of that, it just became just second nature. It was just really natural to be able to make that transition into real estate.
As a first-time home buyer, what's your number one piece of advice that you give people? Because you're navigating this fairly emotional process with them.
Yeah.
What do you suggest?
I love first-time home buyers. Oh, I just love them. It's just so fun. So I sit down with them and just get their wish list.
Okay.
And a lot of times you think of okay, it's square footage and location and all this and that. But it really is, and I learn about them as we walk through houses, and I listen intently to what they're saying to each other, because it's not always on paper. Yeah. And so you hear oh, this could be the nursery, or this could be, we could entertain at this space. So it is all the memories and things. And so just taking note of what's most important. So but then I also tell them, hold on loosely, because in this market,
Yep.
it's really hard. The $300,000 to $400,000 range
Yeah.
is just like crazy, and multiple offers. And so
Yeah.
we'll come in, with everything.
Yeah.
We'll have the appraisal gap guarantee, waive inspection, escalation clause,
Yeah.
the love letter, everything. But if you have a cash offer come in, it just knocks
It
them
doesn't
out.
matter.
No.
So
Yeah.
so I'm like, don't be packing your bags and moving in.
Yep.
And if we happen to lose in a multiple offer, it sometimes happens. But I have seen time and time again.
Yeah.
It can be devastating at the time, but fast forward to the
You
house.
are grateful for what actually
Yeah.
came next.
Yep. So the next one, and they're like, "Oh, that's why we didn't get that one. This
That's
is the
awesome.
one we're supposed to have." And
Yeah.
then we celebrate because So
That
it
is
is
so
just kind of
awesome.
hold on loosely,
Yep.
and just know that God has the right house for you. So it's
Yeah.
fun to see it all come to play.
Oh,
and
yeah.
fall into place, because it really does every time.
Every time it does. Yeah.
What would you say people underestimate when they are buying or selling a house? Is there something like that? It's a repetitive behavior that you see, or is it different for?
I would say people underestimate how emotional it is, especially selling. People have been in their home for a super long time, and just the emotional attachment to a home. And I always tell them, you take your memories with you, take them with you. Because I went through that, selling our house that we weren't intending to, but just to take that into your next one and create new memories, and, savor the ones you had. And then buying can be emotional too, because, if you really...
Expectations.
Yes, the expectations and wanting to get in there, and if it doesn't happen in the right timeline. And so that's probably the biggest thing, is just the emotional piece of it. So we just kind of, as a mom, you're kind of used to navigating emotions. So you try to stay calm through that, and just guide them, and just have them trust the process, because it will work out.
Well, and like, how do you think, you probably have a lot of experience with this, moving and like navigating kids through that? Like, I'm gonna, maybe we're moving up to more space, but like they have a little bit of an attachment to that. I feel like the Bluey episode that I watch, it makes me cry every time. And like the kids don't want to leave the house, but they're trying to move for better opportunities. But like kids don't always understand that. So, but how do you help navigate families through that?
So kind of the younger kids, it is really. What I've done with some that have kids that kind of understand the process is don't get them looking at too many houses, because that's overwhelming for them, because they can be running from room to room and picking up their room, and then they don't understand why that's not their house. So maybe once it gets farther into the process, to bring the kids along, it's like, if this is going to indeed be their house, and then just get them excited about it.
I love that.
To just, kind of set the stage and tell them how they can decorate their room, and just make it all about them and how it's going to be theirs.
It's gonna be exciting. But you would say don't go until you like maybe have...
I would say, if you can, like right now I have buyers that have a baby.
Yeah.
The baby doesn't care. Teenagers, they care. But I think, if you're looking at too many, it can just be overwhelming. So I think if it's narrowed down to a few, and then knowing you're going to get it, then you can kind of set the stage for them. But otherwise, it can kind of, be kind of
interesting. That's wise. I have not thought of that it could be. But it's,
because if they're running through, and then it's a multiple offers, and then you don't get it.
And then it's like every time that happens, then they feel the emotions, and then you're trying to navigate their emotions around it. And
so I've had some that have little ones, and they would just have grandma watch the kids, until it gets more serious, and it is the possibility of that house getting it.
What would you say motherhood has taught you that you were able to carry into your career and you apply?
Good question. I'd say there's a lot of overlap. Like one of those two, like we talked about, is managing the emotions of it. Because there is a lot of, as you know, with kids, there's a lot of ebbs and flows and ups and downs, and just knowing, just being patient, being flexible. You have to be flexible as a mom, because you might make a plan and it's not always going to go the way that you think. So you just kind of have to adjust, and staying calm, because as you know too, if things get heightened with your kids, if you get heightened, it just elevates it. So when buyers get excited or sellers are worried it's not selling, it's just staying calm, and just calming them down, giving them peace of mind to trust the process, and, it will work out. So I would say, flexibility, stay calm, and peace, and flexibility. Yeah, did I say that
awesome.
one? Yes, so.
I know that Noah loves working with you. I want to
working with
hear
him.
if you love working with Noah. And how is Owl Roofing doing?
Yes. He is amazing. Seriously. Like, I text him and he's like on it. And he's I said, can you look at it? Yep. He brings his ladder. He's there the same day. And then it was funny. He did one recently for me in Arden Hills. And just there was one little piece of board that was replaced and it needed to be painted. And instead of having his guys go out there, he's out there on the roof, climbed on the roof and upside down painting the piece of wood.
In flip-flops. Yeah, he does do that too. Sometimes he's like, oh, it's just faster if I do it.
I know. He's like, it's fine. So he is very responsive. He is very good. He's quality. He is like honest and reasonably priced too.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah, you guys have a good thing going.
Good. I was reading through some of these questions and I saw that you were a baton twirler in high school.
No, that's so funny. I definitely have informants
I think this came from your
my
daughter.
family.
Yeah, I'm sure they had just
But I was like,
given us
okay,
some.
and you're saying like, okay, remain calm. And I'm like, that's actually like a little bit of for me, that would be a very stressful thing to do, because all eyes on you. And
I don't think I could do
you
it.
drop it. So talk to me about that.
I was young. I was probably in elementary school.
Okay.
Yep. And so again, a small town. I remember going for baton lessons at this woman's house. And then I was in a parade and, and then you're tossing and turning and all those things. So it lasted for a stint of time. But I remember marching in the parade and we have old movies of it and everything. But then I transitioned to gymnastics after that. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And did your kids all do like sports activities?
Yes.
What was your favorite one that they were involved in?
Oh boy. That's a good question. If they watch this, they're going to wonder.
I know. Which one? No.
Yes, because they've done it all. They've done football, track, soccer, tennis, baseball, hockey. They're all fun.
Yeah.
I love it. There's something about your kids aren't at the ages yet of a sport, but something just about watching them play and doing something they love to do.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that somebody taught me early on is a lot of times parents want to kind of coach their kids. But the best thing you can do is say, I think it's 6 words, I love to watch you play. 6 words.
Okay.
And whether they had a good game, a bad game, whatever it was, I just love to watch you play. Let's go for ice cream. And just that's what it's about. It's that they're having fun and you are there just to support them. And I still do that. I have a D1 soccer athlete and I'm still like, I just love to watch you play.
Yeah.
Let's go for a McDonald's McFlurry.
Yeah.
The
pressure
She's
is
very
so,
good.
yeah. There's a lot of pressure on kids, and I think just having that is.
Yeah. And I think sometimes dads kind of come on strong and they just want to talk about the game and pick it apart and what you did and what you could have done differently.
Yeah.
And it's like, just watch and enjoy and
That's awesome.
and have fun with whatever they're doing. So
I can hear why you had 5 kids. You just
Yeah.
can
And
can
I
do
think
it.
that sports are just like such a good way for kids to like keep their bodies moving and like especially in today we just were talking with someone about like AI and the like transition and how that's going to affect kids in the future. And I think just like she said too, it's like it kind of can remove some of the time that
With
you're doing
another
busy work
human,
stuff, but then you can connect a little bit more with humans.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also just like sports, and I think there's going to almost be like a push into that because people are going to want to do things that are a little bit more like connecting and physical and active.
Another
and,
person.
Yeah, because it is like community building, and I think too team sports are always a good thing to get kids involved.
Yeah,
because
it teaches so much, teamwork and resilience and
consistency, and you show up, somebody like relies on you and depends on you.
Yeah, discipline and it's funny. My 29-year-old, my oldest son, he was a 3-sport athlete. Didn't play at Bethel. He kind of transitioned into singing and playing piano, so that's kind of his thing. But he's also an amazing pickleball player. So that's his thing. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, at one point he thought he might go pro, but
really,
we'll see.
Oh
I said as long as you're having
Is he still
fun.
doing it?
He plays a lot.
For fun?
Yeah.
He works for Lifetime Fitness corporate, so
cool.
he has the opportunity to play a lot. So he's met Andre Agassi, and he's like,
Wow. And pickleball
That
is
is
like
so
up and
cool.
coming.
Oh,
so
for
good
sure.
for him.
yeah. It's not. It used to be like 50, 60-year-olds play it.
Yeah.
Now it's like
Now it's like
20s,
yeah.
30s. Yeah.
No, it's
college
actually
students.
like very athletic. It's
Yeah.
not
It
just the
is.
leisure.
Yeah.
No, we live right by the pickleball courts, and I'm always impressed by people's like, some of it, I'm like, I'm not going to just do a pickup game. They're too good.
I know.
It's like,
Yeah.
if he's teaching lessons, maybe someday I'll have to.
Yeah, he's very patient when like we try to play together, and he's so nice.
Yeah.
He's like with his old mom,
That is awesome.
That's awesome. So you were talking about your internships and like working at hotels, the Phoenician in Phoenix. What would be your number one travel advice for somebody if they're planning a trip for family or just on their own to look for in a like resort or maybe like a spot to stay?
That is a really good question. We do travel a lot.
Yeah.
But we kind of travel on a whim. Like Anya and I, just for spring break, picked a spot. We just went to San Francisco.
Okay.
Oh, fun.
So just because she wanted to go to Europe, and I said it's a little far for a long weekend. So let's just, so we did San Francisco. So it is kind of just finding something like what interests you.
Yeah.
Like for us, it was finding a place that's walkable.
Okay.
And if you want to be near good restaurants or shops, and what's important to you, like if you want free breakfast or you want to have amazing restaurants nearby or you want a pool or a hot tub.
Yeah.
So finding out what those specific things that meet your need. Everyone has different needs when they travel.
Yeah.
Some want to be pampered, some want a hostel. I mean,
Yeah. And just be
and, like,
adventuring
longer.
and
yeah. My middle son did that. He went to Europe for a month with his roommates, and they traveled Europe and with a backpack and lived in hostels all across
good
Europe.
for them. But
Yes,
could never be me.
Nope. Yeah. So I mean, we travel lightly. We bring one suitcase that we bring, and we kind of just go very flexibly. But I know other people can't be that flexible either.
Yeah.
People need to know where they're going, and some plan like a year ahead for a vacation.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's not me.
No, are you more flexible? You like go all the time.
I feel like
too.
I see a cheap flight and then I will plan a trip around it.
Yeah.
Or we have some people that we know that keep inviting us, and we're like, okay, well, I'll wait until this is like affordable to fly everybody and then we can come see you.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like, we are a little bit more.
Yeah.
I feel like we even planned Europe trips.
Yeah.
Maybe like 8 weeks ahead.
Yeah.
Or something like not super far. I don't know. And Strength Finder is big in Bethel community, and
Yes.
one of mine is futuristic. So I feel like if I bought a ticket in my head, it already happened. So I don't necessarily have this anticipation where I have some friends who are like, in the fall, one of my friends is going to Italy in the fall of 2027.
Oh, wow.
And I'm thinking, I can't even, I just can't even fathom that because it's a ticket is bought, so I've already been. And it's still 18 months away, so it's just a funny, I feel like we're all different.
It's a long time, yeah.
We've been asking everybody, is there something you stopped apologizing for? Like something you are doing in life, or maybe you've never been apologetic, but I feel like as a mom, we've been hearing a lot of stories, and that was refreshing that some people are people pleasers and they don't really know how to be themselves, or some people couldn't ask for help and then eventually were like, you know what, I'm hiring a nanny and I'm not going to be guilty about it. And so is there something like that you could share?
Oh boy, good question. I think the only thing that really comes to my mind is apologizing for not being, or for being late. We were always late. Our kids went to Calvin Christian School, and the secretary would have pre-made tardy slips for our family, already made, because she said, I'd rather you have a tardy slip than a ticket speeding here.
Oh.
So it was, and we were on Westland time. So
Cute.
yeah, so it just, and it is getting everybody out the door and getting all of that. I myself am prompt on when it's just me. Yeah. But just learning what, life happens, and But what I've done too is learning to lie a little. It's a nice lie for my husband. So if we need to be somewhere at 3, I tell him 2:30.
Okay. Oh, yes.
So that, I guess I apologize for not for lying.
For sure,
Don't
but just
apologize for
like-
lying.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, so that's kind of
Westland time.
yeah. That's
When
Westland
I
time.
worked with in refugee resettlement, I would have to set times for people to go to job interviews, and most my clients were East Africa and like or Middle East and just warmer climates and Muslim community. So if I would say, and sometimes I would have to work through the interpreter. Sometimes I would say, interviews at 3, and they are nodding and they are saying, Inshallah. And it took me probably 6 to 7 months to be like, this is not a yes or a no. What does inshallah mean? And it means God's will.
Oh.
I'm going to come at 3. And so then I caught that eventually through the interpreter. And I said, you have to tell him that God really wants him to come. And he's coming. And then I did the same thing you do, 2:10, 2:30.
Yes.
If it's 3. Because then at least I could
Yes.
like guarantee that we are coming. So this was this joke for a while in our office. We were like, yeah, we are doing this, or it's inshallah. It's like, we don't know. Maybe, maybe not. So then it's just
Oh, that's great. Yeah, and then sometimes it's like I forget to add the little extra time on there, and he's like, what time is it really? I'm like, it is really at 3. Like, I forgot to add the extra time on there.
So sometimes he's just really early.
Yes, yeah, which is okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
And I was thinking about back to your question of advice to travelers. One is we tend to kind of go with like an itinerary, and find like things that you want to see. But I'd say go off the beaten path. Because there's so many little hidden gems.
Oh, yeah.
And you can find a lot of that on Reddit now. Or I think you can probably go to ChatGPT and find some of those things too.
Yeah.
But go off the beaten path. And like I asked my son when we went to San Francisco, because he's been there multiple times, and he said just get on public transportation and get lost.
Yeah.
And just
I love that.
explore.
Not
That's
having
fun.
everything so planned.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
a specific time. I like that idea. And I
That's
think
true. That's freeing. I like that. Thank you for
less
saying
pressure
that.
on yourself to
Yeah.
see and do everything, because you can't get to everything either.
Right.
That's awesome.
And some places you visit several times.
Yeah.
So then you get a little more freedom maybe
Yeah.
to just do it off the beaten path. But
Yeah.
when you're going to France, you're like, okay, have to see
Yeah,
that
I
Eiffel
know.
Tower
I
because
know.
nobody will
Sometimes.
believe me. Yeah. So that's,
Have to get a picture of it.
was there an item you bought, I don't know, maybe around Christmas or the past year that's under $100 and something like just valuable or fun or life-changing?
Valuable, fun, or life-changing. The only thing I can think of, I didn't buy it though, it was a Christmas gift, is my daughter and son-in-law bought us a chargeable shark.
Oh,
Do you have one of those?
No, but tell me more.
For the, hardwood floors, and
Yeah.
it transitions from the hardwood floors to the carpet.
Yep.
I see cute little ones out there. Because I have a vacuum that you lug around and you
Okay,
plug in.
cool.
And we have 3 levels, so then it was always lugging it around. So she just said, "Yep, this is a gift for you to be able to." And I'm like, first you're like, "Oh, great,
Thanks
cleaning."
for that.
That's awesome.
But it has actually been a lifesaver, and my husband uses it, so that's nice.
Okay. Oh,
there
that's
you go.
awesome.
That has not happened with the other vacuums. I'm happy now.
The plug was just one step
I
too
know
far.
it's just too much work.
Oh, that's
If there's
awesome.
one thing that you could tell your husband, what would it be? Or that he might not know?
If I could tell him. I feel like I say it, but I don't think he really hears it, that how much I appreciate like all the work he does.
Yeah.
Because he does work 2 jobs. He's
Yeah.
a contractor and a flight attendant, but he loves them both.
Yeah.
Like he's almost 10 years older than I am,
Okay.
and I'm like, he could retire, but he goes, why would I? I love what
Yeah.
I do. He loves renovating houses. He loves flying and going to new places, and so I think he'll do both until he physically can't.
Can't
So I
anymore.
think, just to let him know how much I appreciate him.
That's amazing.
That's
How long
really
have
cool.
you guys been married?
30 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
Wow. And 5
It'll-
kids.
It'll be 31 in June. Yeah.
Congrats. That's a big,
That's a big
that's a
milestone.
big milestone. Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
going to do anything fun?
And
for-
it's just been, easy
Yeah.
all the time. It's
Yeah.
just like no problems. All 30 years. It's been like,
always plugged the vacuum
That's
in.
why they
Yeah.
got having kids. I love it.
Just
That's
like,
so fun.
living the dream.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's been a dream that he's allowed me to stay home with the kids for
Yeah.
the first 15 years, and then the last 15. He's so supportive of what I do, and we kind of work well together too with me listing houses. If I need work done, I have somebody
amazing.
I can call,
For
and
sure.
he's in there fixing things, he's removing wallpaper. He's,
Oh my goodness.
fixing a bathroom, whatever, this, that, and the other. And
So
vice
you
versa.
kind of are working together.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
so not together, but definitely
yeah.
benefit each other.
Yeah.
And then he also has people that he connects with, and
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
he said they're going to be selling or listing their house, and so we kind of refer each other for different things.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
kind of goes
That's
hand
really
in hand.
fun.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing anything for a 30th wedding anniversary?
Well, it actually was last year was our 30th, so this will be our 31. We haven't done anything yet. We've talked about it. But we still, so many things revolve around the kids and
Yeah.
travel.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
we love to travel with our kids.
For sure.
Like we went to Mexico after Christmas, and it was first time with the baby and
Yeah.
things like that. So we do talk about like maybe a cruise or going to Europe or Italy. I'd love to go to
so
Italy.
cool.
So maybe that will be
That's a big deal.
the one to go to.
Yeah.
To celebrate the milestone.
That's awesome.
Thank you for being with us.
Yeah.
Well, thank
This
you
was
for
so fun
having
too.
me.
I feel like I know you, but I feel like I've learned so many cool
Yeah.
things about you.
Yes, well, and yeah, it's like with real estate, I feel like I've known you a little bit through Noah and a little bit through the Mobergs and
Yeah.
Momco and everything like that too. But just being
I'm
a part
sure
of
it's
this
fun.
community,
Yeah,
as you
100%.
know, is amazing.
Yeah.
And
And you know me, I always am like, oh my gosh, I want to live by the ocean. But then I always tell Noah, I don't know if we could meet this quality of people that we have here elsewhere.
yep,
So then,
that is the thing,
That's
because I
it.
did live in multiple places. It isn't the same. Like you could live on the beach, but you'd be a little lonelier because it's just such a different. I don't know what it is. It's the Midwest here, and it's just the relationships and the depths. And even my daughters went to college in California. Now they're both back in Minnesota too. So
That's
that is
Yeah.
really,
Yeah, it pulls you back, even though the weather, we're all like, but it's like we go through it together.
yeah,
yeah,
And-
I know, it's a bonding experience
Yeah.
every winter.
Yeah.
I know, it really is. Yeah, and I just feel blessed to walk through house hunting with people. It just feels actually an honor to be invited to do that with them.
That is
Whether
so
it's first-time home buyers and the excitement of that, or I've worked with 90-year-olds that are selling their house they lived and raised their family in for 65
Crazy,
years,
yeah.
and they're moving on to assisted living, and so it's just everything
You see
in
every
between.
life stage.
Yeah, and just to meet them where they're at. And I think because we moved so many times, just
Yeah.
to connect, I know that feeling, and I've been in there. My husband has a truck and a trailer. We'll help people move. I'm in there packing or doing whatever they need because I know the pain of it. And
Oh,
it is
yeah.
moving is, you both moved. So it's a little bit like childbirth where it's like a process and it's kind of things are going along, but the final end stages are very painful.
Yeah.
There's not an epidural.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
great.
if I
That's
can ease it in any way
I love
with
that
the moving
analogy.
process, I am
that's so
happy to help in any way. And people won't ask usually.
Yeah.
So it's like you just have to step in and do it. And then they're happy,
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you
for
step
sure.
in and you help in any way.
So if people need help with selling or buying a house, how could they find you and reach out?
Good question. Well, at edinarealty.com. So it's Christine Westlund at Edina Realty. You just search my name and I pop up. That's probably the best way. I'm not super active on social media. I know the younger generation are really good about that. Mine is more referral and word of mouth. So I work with somebody and then it's like their aunt or their sister or their kid or whoever. It just kind of rolls from there. I know I do have the bus bench that I had acquired.
I know,
Noah
yes.
was joking and said he was going to lay on it and take a picture.
Every time we drive by, we take a picture and send to Ava and Kieran.
You
I
do?
swear, yes.
Did you see it when it had googly eyes on it?
No.
My friend drove by and she goes, "You look wide awake this morning." And I was like, "What?" There were, googly eyes stuck right
Oh
in my
my
eyeballs.
goodness.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh,
So I had to go
that's
and
funny.
pick them
Take
off.
them off. Excuse me, this is me.
Yes. So it's funny, but so that would be the way. But it's an honor to do it and fun.
I love that.
Yeah. So,
So
and
cool.
love that I can connect with you guys with your owl roofing. And I know I have a house in Shoreview that Noah's going to be helping with when we close in May. So
Oh, nice. Okay, glad to hear.
he's my my go-to roofing guy. So I've told everybody at my office whenever somebody needs a referral.
Well, we appreciate
That's awesome. Thank you for doing that.
You guys are
Thank
great.
you. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being with us. Again, this is Best for Your Nest podcast, and stay tuned. We're going to be having fun people next week.